Hello my loves, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome! Come on in, it's so good to see you. Have you seen any good shows lately? Here at TL Yarn Crafts, I show my crochet love through free patterns, product reviews, and tutorials that will blow your mind. So if you're here for all of that, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Today, I'm back with another Yarn Snob Reviews video, but before we get too deep into that, here's a little bit about our video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. With the help of Skillshare, I recently learned how to use Adobe Premiere Pro, how to get my videos seen on YouTube, and even how to make my very own sourdough starter. With thousands of classes, most under 60 minutes, available on demand and with no ads, you can learn at your own pace and on your own time. And it's all less than $10 a month with an annual membership. The first 1,000 subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of the Premier membership so you can explore your own creativity. Alright, so what had happened was, I went into Joann. For one thing, I went to go find magnets, which I did find. But on my way to the magnets, I also found lots of new to me yarns that are now available at Joann. What is a yarn snob to do but buy a little bit of all of them and then bring them home and share my review with you? So that's what we're doing today. I'm checking out 4 new yarns, giving you my likes and dislikes, initial reaction, and then ranking each one of them 1 out of 10 hooks. I'm super excited about these ones because summer yarns aren't typically in my wheelhouse, but let's give them a try. Come on. The first yarn we'll look at is Textile, which comes from Big Twist, a brand exclusive to Joann. I was really excited to give this a try because it instantly reminded me of BERNAT Maker Home Deck, which is so hard to find sometimes. Textile is a category 6 super bulky weight cotton polyamide blend. Each 150 gram cake comes with 108 yards of vibrantly colored yarn and will run you $9.99 each when full price. What you'll notice about this yarn is that it's single ply, but it's a tubular yarn, meaning that the stretchy casing is loosely packed with a filling that looks like fiber fill. It's a really unique construction for yarn that I think is especially attractive to crocheters. The first thing I notice about Textile is that it is incredibly soft. If I'm not mistaken, the tubing on the outside is what makes up the cotton of this yarn. It feels really nice to the touch, almost like a beloved t-shirt. I couldn't help comparing every step of this process to Home Deck. Besides the fact that Home Deck is a category 5 bulky weight, these yarns are nearly identical. Since there are no plies to contend with, picking up the stitches is a dream. The yarn almost floats around the hook and the stitches are well defined. Textile is the kind of yarn you don't want to put down once you start making. It's really fun to work with, and the heavier gauge means whatever you work up will come together quickly. But the fast stitching is also its downfall. With only 108 yards in a cake, a little Textile surely does not go a long way. And compared to many other super bulky weight yarns available at Joann, the price point for Textile is on the high side. Thankfully, Textile was on sale when I picked it up from the store, and at the time of editing this video, it's still on sale for just $7.49 each. Textile gets a happy 9 out of 10 hooks from me. I'm really excited to see another tubular yarn on the market, even though it likely will only be around for the spring and summer seasons. The color range is fantastic with 16 bold hues to match any home decor project. If you get your hands on Textile, try making pillows, baskets, and purses. If you need some inspo for this yarn, give my cottage throw pillow a try. It was created with Home Deck, but you can easily adjust it to use Textile. Next on the list is K+C's Raffia, another Joann exclusive brand. I see that Joann is pulling out all of the stops to bring hard to find fibers to a wider audience, and I am here for it. Raffia is a category 4 tape yarn made of rayon from cellulose, a natural raw material manufactured from wood pulp. The 40-gram bullet skeins are wrapped around a cardboard core to help maintain their shape and branding. For $4.99 each, you can choose from 8 summer-ready colors, each with 99 yards. When you unfold Raffia, you can see that it's made with a thin material that feels a lot like tissue paper. By folding the sheets onto themselves, the resulting fiber is sturdy enough to crochet with, but it is still a bit delicate. As many US yarn shoppers may know, Raffia is a bit tricky to find. There are a few online retailers that offer it, and Lion Brand's Rewind is a pretty good alternative, but it's nearly impossible to find Raffia outside of boutique yarn stores. I can really appreciate that Joann went out of their way to fill a hole in the market, especially as we close in on the warmer months. The yarn itself feels similar to when I've used raffia before, and for the sake of transparency, I will say I'm not a huge fan of raffia. The yarn itself is unique and gives the finished product an organic look, but the crochet experience isn't one that I'd run to. Raffia is a bit on the slippery side. While it folds easily, it doesn't move well. I had some issues with tension throughout making my swatch, and I was consistently adjusting the hand that was feeding the yarn, making the whole thing very slow going. If I was working with raffia again, I'd likely use a wood hook since it has a little bit more grip for a yarn like this. Raffia has a lot going for it, and I honestly waffled a lot in deciding on rating this yarn. It brings all of the benefits that you come to expect with raffia, but there are a few nitpicky issues that I can't overlook. It's easy to find, but you only get 8 colors to choose from. It's got a unique look and feel, but you only get 99 yards in a ball. Also, a quick Google search led me to believe that rayon from cellulose is not as eco-friendly as the Joann website would lead you to believe. For that reason, I'm giving raffia 7 out of 10 hooks. Raffia is classically used for accessories like earrings, hats, and even shoes. Get your hands on some raffia and make my mangrove clutch, a free pattern I designed in collaboration with K+C. Now let's say hello to Nuboo, one of several yarns available as part of Lion Brand's summer lineup. Nuboo is a category 4 worsted weight yarn made from 100% lyocell, a breathable fiber made from sustainably harvested bamboo pulp. One strand of Nuboo is made from 10 2-strand plies lightly twisted together. The lyocell gives a subtle sheen to this soft but strong yarn. The color palette includes 18 shades that you have to see in person to believe. The overall feel is soft yet modern and just makes me want to sit on a beach and crochet somewhere. One 3-ounce skein costs $5.99 and you get 157 yards. Crocheting with this yarn was actually really nice. Now I used a resin hook, which I wouldn't recommend. Like with the raffia yarn, I really needed something with more grip and should have went with wood. Aside from this, the yarn has a nice soft twist to it, but all of those plies means that you still get great stitch definition. For such a lacy yarn, I did a lacy stitch and it really shows off the subtle sheen. I had a bit of splitting along the way, but not nearly as much as I was expecting. Now at this point, you might be thinking, Tony, how can you say so many nice things about Nuboo when you ripped TrueBoo, a new one, last year? To which I would say, I don't really have an excuse. I'm only human. Maybe I just wasn't in a place to appreciate TrueBoo when it first came out. Here's the deal. TrueBoo and Nuboo are nearly identical. TrueBoo is a DK weight and a little bit more shiny, but other than that, I can't really say why I'm feeling Nuboo more. Maybe it's the color palette, maybe it's the heavier weight, maybe I'm just more mature and doing these Yarn Snob videos has opened me up to a wider variety of yarns. Whatever the reason, I'm a Nuboo fan and that's just how it is. I'm giving Nuboo 9 out of 10 hooks for a lot of reasons. The crochet experience is phenomenal, the price point is great, the color palette is right up my alley. I really hope this yarn sticks around so I can make some pretty tops and shawls out of it in the coming months and years. One of my patterns that immediately comes to mind for this Nuboo yarn is the summertime tank. I just imagine that the drape of Nuboo will take this design to a whole new level. Find the free crochet pattern on my blog, TLYCblog.com. Last and most certainly least is Just Hemp. Like the name says, Just Hemp is 100% hemp, an eco-friendly and versatile alternative for all yarn crafts. You'll pay $8.99 per 100 gram skein of this category 5 bulky weight yarn. Just Hemp comes in 14 muted colors and the yarn itself is made from 6 twisted strands. The initial feel of this yarn is pretty rough. And I mean rough. I'm getting major Brillo vibes and I just imagine the ring of dryness I'm gonna have over my finger when working with this yarn. Let me get all of the things I don't like about Just Hemp out of the way. I felt like my Yarn Snob meter was on 10 from the moment I touched this yarn. For a natural fiber, there was nothing soft about it and I just can't go for that. There was also a pretty significant splitting issue once I got going on my swatch. Also, the yarn itself is dull. The Lion Brand website says that the yarn gets softer as you wash it, but I wonder what that's going to do to the already dull color. Though as much as I wonder what might happen, I don't have the patience or the interest in Just Hemp to find out. Now let's talk about the benefits of a yarn like this. Hemp is a great year-round fiber. It helps to regulate temperature, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Hemp as a fiber has a long history in the textile industry because of its durability and eco-friendliness. It grows quickly and requires much less water and chemicals for processing compared to other plant fibers. While my initial reaction to this yarn was wholly negative. I really didn't hate working with it. It's not nearly as rough on the hands as I first thought, and the stitch definition is super nice. While it's likely not for me, Just Hemp definitely deserves a place on yarn shelves. Eco-conscious makers will appreciate the benefits of this fiber, and adventurous makers will love trying something new. I'm not completely sold on Just Hemp, so I'm giving it 5 out of 10 hooks. The Lion Brand website recommends skirts and sweaters for this yarn, but I'm more interested in turning Just Hemp into hard-wearing home goods like rugs and trivets. My Hexie Puff coaster pattern would be a great use for Just Hemp. Make a few in different colors for an awesome housewarming gift. Ultimately, all of this yarn was an impulse purchase, but I have no regrets about going in for magnets and coming out with like $100 worth of yarn. If you don't try it, how will you ever know? And as a yarn snob, I have my favorites, and I want to use more than just 100% superwash merino DK for the rest of my life. I hope you'll be open to trying some new yarns when you go to your local craft store as well. So let me know which of these was your favorite, and if you have other recommendations of yarns for me to try, drop those down into the comments. Today's cup of caffeine, which is in dire need of a refill, comes to us from our friend Jeanette Sloan. Thank you so much for the support, and I'm glad to be part of your crochet journey. If you enjoy my content and want to support my channel, buy me a coffee. Who knows, I might shout you out in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.